Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Rachel with Journey Back Quilts, and today I'm in my studio. I'm working on my knitted star quilt, which you probably have seen already. I've been working on this for the last couple of weeks now with our UFO challenge, which is going great. It is so much fun. We've got about a month left before it closes, and I will be sending out some amazing prizes that Riley Blake sent to me to be able to give to you, and they are amazing. Some are fabric, some are cute little notions, lots of fun, different things. So make sure if you're not signed up already for this UFO challenge, you come join me over at journeybackquilts.com and you'll see the guild on that, or the UFO challenge right on that page. So hi, Jean. Thanks so much for joining me today. So I'm streaming from StreamYard, which allows me to be able to stream in multiple places at one time, which is really fun. So I'm over on our YouTube channel, our group on Facebook, which is Your Quilting Journey Show and Tell page. We'd love to have you come over there and show off what you've been making, and also on our Facebook page as well. So yes, so I have just a couple quick announcements and then we'll get to working on my quilted or my knitted star here. So I have a really good Black Friday sale coming up. I'm actually going to open it a little bit early, but I only have 10 spots available. So if you are interested in this Black Friday sale, just PM me or comment Black Friday and I will get you more info. It involves the fun tabletopper subscription box that you may have been seeing me put together. I just finished my December quilt. I just finished long arming it. It needs bound now, but isn't this adorable? Oh, it's so cute. I can't wait to use it. I am not one that gets real early with Christmas. I love Christmas, but I just don't want the magic of it to fade before Christmas actually happens. So we usually start decorating a little bit, maybe a little tiny bit the weekend before Thanksgiving, and then we'll slowly kind of get things out until the weekend after Thanksgiving, and then we're usually done decorating. But I'm really excited to have this one done. Look at the quilting on it, all of those orange peels and straight lines. So much fun. The back really shows off the quilting really well. Look at that. All free-handed on the long arm. It was so fun and really fast to finish. So that was really fun. So anyway, you can get this kit as well as the other 11 with this Black Friday sale. So just comment Black Friday or PM me Black Friday and I will get you more information on that. I only have 10 spots left, which is really exciting. So I'm going to be able to get those cleared out of the studio and into your hands so you can create them, because they're just sitting here sad waiting for you to finish them. The other announcement is our next free guild meeting. This is a show and tell guild meeting, is December 7th at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. These are free to the public. All you have to do is sign up here. I'll put the link in the comment box for you. So go sign up there and come show off what you're making, or just come hang out with us. We always have a really fun time, and I always send one person a free gift from me as well. So, okay, let's get to working on my knitted star today. If you're joining me, please comment hi. I love to see who you are, just like Jean did, so I can say hi to you and talk to someone and not just myself. I want to know what you are working on as well. So put that in the comment box. Are you working on some Christmas gifts? Are you finishing up your UFOs? Let me know. So let me change the camera view so you can see my mess. And here it is. So this knitted star is a lot of work, but it is really fun. And it looks kind of like a mess right now because I have them in piles of 8. And then I put the next strip on top of them for what I need to do. So this is what they're looking like right now. And then I'm going to add another strip. They are somewhat like a log cabin where you're going to build it like a stair. You build this block, and then it goes to this and this and this and this, and then you just keep flipping through all the pieces. But I have a lot. I have enough for 29 blocks. I have one of them done, so I have 28 here. And this is what it finishes like. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm trying to get this done before Christmas because I think it would look gorgeous on my king size bed. My husband built this custom headboard for it. I'll have to show you pictures of it later, but it's a Kona brown, real deep dark brown, and it looks kind of, barn door ish. And I just think this would look beautiful with that, and then put a swag of garland around there and some lights or something. I just think it looked so pretty. So I'm really trying to get it done in time. But of course, I have to work on it a little bit at a time, in between orders and kids stuff and home stuff and all the things, that are going on in life right now. And it's just getting busier and busier as Thanksgiving's approaching. So I'm glad you can join me today so I can sit and sew for a minute. Gives me a good excuse to do that. So I'm just going to take a couple piles, and what I do is sew through about half of them at a time and then go iron them. So I'm chain piecing everything, ironing everything. Now, I was going to share a quick little tip because I did make this quilt larger than the pattern calls for, and it actually is going to work out just fine because all the blocks are exactly the same. But I had to figure out how to do the math for the fabric. So what I ended up doing was just adding a few more cuts of whatever she said in the pattern to cut. And then I thought, well, I'll just work from there and I'll cut more as I need it. And what I should have done was just start with how many blocks I needed. So I did the math to see how many I needed, and I needed about 24. So now I have enough for some shams and maybe a throw pillow or something like that. So anyway, I probably would have cut my fabric as I went instead of a whole chunk at one time. It's worked out okay. I have run out of what I've cut, and now I'm having to cut more. And so what I do is just pile up blocks, about 8 or so at a time. There's 4 in each quilt block. So there's 2 quilt blocks in each pile. And that way I know how many strips of each next piece I need to add to it. And then I can cut those pieces and add them to my blocks and then chain piece them all at the same time. So it's very assembly line type manufacturing going on here, which helps me to be able just to sit and sew, stay organized, and get everything done. So I've got my design board, which just helps me kind of carry everything over to the sewing machine. So I'm just going to add about half of these blocks. And then take them over. Maybe I'll do a little less than that, just for the sake of this video. You don't want to sit and sew with me all day long, do you? Of course you do. Jean says she's working on a pieced and some applique quilt for her mom. Oh, that's awesome. And we've got a Facebook user saying hi. So in the description box, there is a link that if you just click that, it will give permission to StreamYard to use your name in the comments so that I can see who you are. But if not, it's totally fine. Hi, Facebook user. Okay, let me switch screens here. Let's go over the sewing machine. And let's chain piece some of these babies together. Better move my tea out of the way. So I like to use this 1/4 inch seam guide foot because that helps me get an accurate 1/4 inch. I better check the directions, make sure I'm sewing it on the correct side. She did a great job with this pattern, making it very organized because there are so many pieces, but I still have to double check where I'm at. And I've been trying to check them off as I go. So let me see where I'm at here. Okay, so this big block is 1. Then we've got this one, this one. Okay. Then I'm just going to try to line up all of my seams together. She has all the seams opening as you iron them. So there's no nested seams, but it's going to keep the block a lot flatter, which is nice. So just being careful to line up those seams so you get those perfect points where it's applicable. I know I've talked about chain piecing before, but it really does help everything go faster, and you can just sit and sew, and you're not going to waste a ton of thread by pulling out your thread every time you're done with one block and snipping it or whatever. So we'll just snip apart those connecting threads as soon as we're all done. So the Quilt Guild meeting that I was telling you about, the show and tell meeting, it is so much fun. We have had several people join us. It's different every time. Sometimes we have a lot of ladies, and sometimes we just have a few, depending on the season, I guess. But there's a different theme every month, and now you can play along with the theme, or you can just bring whatever you want to show and tell. Next month's theme is, of course, holiday quilts or Christmas quilts. And don't be getting offended at holiday quilts, because I wanted to include those that might have made a Hanukkah quilt or maybe a Thanksgiving quilt or something like that. So, and then of course your Christmas quilts. So you can bring any of those if you have them. If not, just bring anything you want to show and tell. Or if you're brand new to quilting, we would just love to have you join us. Everybody shares different tips and tricks and helpful things in the group, and we just have a fun time chatting for an hour or so. So I would love to have you come. Starting in the new year, we're going to have little short tutorial lessons. So I want to hear from you. What do you want to learn? And let me see if I can throw that together into our guild meetings, because that would be super fun to have like a little mini class within that meeting. I thought maybe having some trunk shows would be fun. Guest instructors would be fun. So I'm looking into doing all of that for the new year. So comment below if you're excited for that, because I am. It's going to be so much fun. I love learning new things in quilting and continuing to grow my quilting journey. And so learning from other people that know different techniques that I don't know is really fun. So I want to be able to bring that to you guys as well. So we might be having some new people coming on. And if you are a quilt instructor and you have a cool thing you want to share with us, just let me know and we'll chat about that. I would love to hear from you. Okay, I'll chain piece 2 more and then I'll take it over to the ironing board. One thing I've noticed with this pattern is my pieces aren't exactly matching up 100%. So what I'm trying to focus on is getting those perfect points, and you can always trim off the excess later if need be. I'm not sure if that's me or the pattern or the ironing or my seam allowance or how I cut it. I don't know. Sometimes it just happens that way, right? Yep, I thought I did. I ran out of bobbin. This is a good place to stop, I guess. So I'll just clip apart those and take these over to the ironing board. Kimberly says, everything. I hear you, Kimberly. I want to learn it all too. Learn it and perfect it. Okay, let me grab my iron. And where did my thing go? I have oh, there it is. A cutting gizmo, fun little tool to help me cut apart my connecting threads. So it just has a little razor in there. I have some on our shop that actually uses your old rotary blades in them, and they're super adorable. This is just the one that keeps hanging out at this station, so I'll just keep using it. I do have the other one in my travel bag because it folds up really nice and flat, where this one's a little bulky, and it's super, super handy. Going to quilt retreats or classes or anything like that. Okay, now we get to open all these seams. Let me grab my clapper too. So if you've been following me for a while, you know I love my clapper. I learned the hard way not to use steam or starch after cutting my fabric, because if you do, it can shrink all the fibers within your fabric and shrink your block, which will make it all distorted and the dimensions won't work. But the clapper helps set that seam really nice and flat. So when I iron it, I put this on there, let the heat, it takes away the heat too, and it keeps it nice and flat. So I like to work with the fabric as flat as possible, because it's just easier to get the block coming out correctly. So open that seam. And I'll kind of hit some of these seams coming up too, just to keep them going flat. And then I'm going to scoot it over so I can work on the next block, and just let the clapper sit there, and then take all that heat away and flatten it out. Jean says, I have never been a part of any guild or group. Are there requirements? Nope, not with mine. You can just come. As soon as you sign up or just RSVP with your email address in that link that I put in the chat box, I will send you emails on when we're meeting and all that kind of fun stuff. So, and the link, of course, to join us the night of. So just mark your calendar, December 7th at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's 8 p.m. Central and 9 Eastern. I know that gets a little late. We may be switching that time up and maybe even the day up in January. And so that's another thing I'd like to hear from you too, is when is the best date and time for you to join a guild meeting or a class or something like that, so I can start planning the new year with what works for the majority of people. I still have kiddos at home. They're in high school now, so they're very self-efficient, but they still need mama, and I want them to, as they're growing up, I want to be able to spend as much time with them. So sometimes weekends are a little bit challenging for me, depending on what's going on. So we've been doing them Thursday evenings. That's when my kiddos have other activities going on that my husband's able to take them to, but I am open to other suggestions. So let me know that too. And you can put that in the chat box as well, or you can think about it and get back to me via email or Facebook or whatever, Instagram. We're on everything. Oh, there's Macy, you can hear. Hubby is working on a project, so any little noise, she goes nuts. It's okay, May. Go lay down. All right, there are all of those, and look at how cute they're turning out. So I think I have 2 more sides to add to them before I can sew them into groups of 4 with some sashing and a cornerstone in the middle, and that finishes the block. And then I'll be able to start putting them together in the final quilt. That's the exciting part for me. I love to be able to see the quilt taking shape. And this has been a long process. I thought for sure I would be done a lot sooner than this, but that's how life goes, right? So thanks for joining me in making some of those. I hope that that was fun and entertaining for you. Let me switch my camera view here real quick so I can say bye to you. There we go. Oh, great. Jean says she RSVP'd. Woohoo! I'm so excited to see you. That'll be so much fun. And like I said, if you have Christmas quilts or holiday quilts, you can bring those. If not, you can bring any quilt. Or if you don't have a quilt yet, if you haven't started quilting, then just come. We would love to see you and hang out with you. So, well, thanks so much for joining me today in my studio as I'm working on this knitted star. I hope that that was fun for you. If you have a pile of UFOs and you would like a challenge to help you finish these UFOs, I invite you to join our UFO challenge. You have one more month to get in. Let me grab that link for you while I'm on here so you can see what all is included. And then you can get some fun prizes, possibly. We have a fun competition going on with it. So as you finish quilts, there are point values depending on what kind of quilt you're making, what size quilt, the technique you're using. There's point values for everything. So you start with your size and then you add your technique, and so your points just continue to grow. And you can add up as many quilts or projects as you have. Of course, they have to be a quilt project. It can't be necessarily a bag or anything like that, although that would be really fun too. I do have some bags in my UFO channel or UFO stash too, but I won't count those. So I hope that you can join us for that. And I'll see you next week. We are still just staying in the studio for the next few weeks. I'm not doing anything other than that. We used to do like a fabric sale, and I would pull out some fun fabrics that we're getting in the shop and stuff. But with the holidays coming up, you know where to shop. You can go to journeybackquilts.com anytime and shop online anytime you want to. So I'll see you next week, same time, same place. I believe we're going to go 1 o'clock again next week. I had a business opportunity to do a class at 2 o'clock. So I wanted to open that time up for that class. So looks like 1 o'clock is working for you guys. Looks like we have more viewers than we do at 2. So maybe we'll be switching things up here too. It's always a trial and error, right? But I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I'll stop rambling and let you go. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.